Hi, today I am providing my review about the Samsung 7.4 cubic foot smart electric dryer with sensor dry. The model number is in the description. Overall, I am very happy with this dryer. Sensor dry is great, which is its promoted feature. I will say with the caveat that you do not overfill your drum, and I will go into that in more detail later. Here is a look at the dryer. This is your control panel. This is the chime that it will make when you turn it off and on. It's a beautiful dryer. Here's the inside of the drum. Here's the lint filter. Very easy to clean. So I would like to talk about some of the things I like about the dryer and some of the things I don't. I'm going to start by showing you the app and explain that so what makes this smart is they utilize the Samsung, this one, as well as the companionable set with the washer. It uses the Samsung SmartThings app. Now, this is what the app looks like. Now, you will definitely want to download and utilize the SmartThings app if you want to take full advantage of your dryer. You'll be losing out on a lot of functionality if you do not utilize the app. Not as much with the dryer as you would with the washer, but you will still wish you utilized the app, especially for things like the notification that the cycle is done. I really appreciate those notifications, along with its compatibility with things like Alexa and Google. It's really helpful to get those notifications. So this is letting me know that the dryer is ready, it's on. I can pick what cycle I want it to run. One thing I really like is that I have the option of syncing with my washer so that it can detect what cycle I just ran and auto sync that. So if I need to do some towels, I'm going to run it on heavy duty. It will know as soon as my washer's done to change this to heavy duty, and I will just be able to hit start. Another useful feature is called dry recipe. If I'm not sure what setting I want to dry it on or should be drying it on based on what it is, like towels, I need a strong dry, and I'll put wrinkle prevent on. So wrinkle prevent, which they're asking, do I want to prevent wrinkles, which is also this feature right here. This is one of my other favorite settings. This is something that will intermittently tumble your clothes in the drum and linens after the cycle is done so that the creases don't form and it doesn't add any heat, and it will work for up to 3 hours after the cycle's done, so that if for whatever reason you can't get to the dryer, it won't cause wrinkles. So I'm going to get suggestions, and in this case it's saying normal for an hour with high on the dryness at very setting, and I could send that to the dryer. Now settings are sent to dryer. Now for me, I don't think I would set it on that. I think I would personally put it on heavy duty. And that's because I have a lot of towels and I should probably split them in two, which I might do because this is something that was a pain point that I learned that I am going to share as a con for this dryer. And that is the sensor dry is very sensitive. There is no way to really adjust the sensors. Now, sensor dry works, the way it works is that it detects the humidity and moisture in the drum to know when your clothes are dry, and it will stop the cycle. So let's say it says normal for an hour. Let's say after 30 minutes, it detects that it is dry in there. It's going to stop your cycle and tell you it's done. If your drum is too full and it's detecting on the outside of what it's turning that it's dry, it's going to stop it even if the middle of the dryer is still damp. I was experiencing this where it would tell me my clothes are dry, but some of them were still pretty damp, and it was because I just had too much in there. So you're going to have to make sure you're not overfilling your dryer in order to keep that from happening. Now, for me, my best way to get around that when I couldn't really, I realized I put too much, I'm still learning how much is too much. The only way to override sensor dry is with time dry. Now, the maximum for time dry is 60 minutes. The only increments you have are 20, 40, and 60 minutes. Unless you come to your control panel and adjust the time. There is no way to adjust the time on the app. And that is one of the pain points that I do not, I don't really like. But I still appreciate that I can at least change it on the display. So you, if your clothes are still not dry and you try to run it again on normal, it's gonna stop again. So my solution is to run it on time dry for like 20 minutes and see if it's dry then, because it will run for the full 20 minutes. Smart control is what you have to press to be able to, oh, I have to close this, is what you have to press in order to be able to start the dryer from your phone. It's giving permission for your app to be able to start the dryer. So, to give a demo of that, okay, I know the door was open, okay? It's giving me an alert. I don't need, well, this is an example. So I was leaning against the door button and I accidentally pressed it, so it thought the door was being defective. And so I got an alert. So I can start the dryer. Oh, I have to press start down there. So now it has started. I am going to cancel. And it has stopped. So that is some of what I liked and didn't like about the dryer. I think I had a few more notes. Let me check. Some other cycles I wanted to talk about and address. Let me pull them up. So these features are very, very wonderful and handy to have. I've used them multiple times. So, making sure it's focused. So one of those is Sanitize. This one, you disinfect, deodorize, and soften your clothes. It really just, I feel much better about clothes that really need to be cleaned, like anything used for pets or clothes that kids have soiled. like bed sheets that kids have had accidents in. I just feel so much better being able to use this Sanitize, because I feel like they just come out much cleaner, especially after using the bedding waterproof setting on the wash. Like, it's just that extra touch to make sure I'm truly killing off those germs in the dryer as well. The other one I like that makes my life easier is called Wrinkle Release. So this would be a handful, probably no more than 4 or 5. I like to do it when I'm getting ready in the morning and I have a few items that I wanted to get a few wrinkles out of, and I do not want to get the iron out. I hate ironing. So this lets me quickly take care of those wrinkles while I'm getting ready or having a quick breakfast before I go to work. And it's all ready in under 15 minutes. And so this is a really great setting. So those are some of my favorite cycles that are unique to this dryer. And then, oh yeah, there's another setting that Samsung has in here, which is home care, which I touched on a little bit when I saw the alert from the door. But one thing that I really like is that it has guides on how to clean and do your own maintenance. So when the time comes that I'll need to clean my heat exchanger, this is going to tell me the steps, not only when I need to do it, but the steps on how to do it myself. And if I need help, I can go ahead and chat with someone from Samsung directly on here, or request repair services directly on here. The washer already alerted me when I needed to do a self-clean cycle, and I was able to take care of that. Let's see, can I dismiss this? Okay. So that is the dryer. This is it in all its glory. One other thing about the SmartThings app, was that initial setup was relatively easy for someone who is tech savvy. They have the QR code on the front for setting it up. You scan it and you go through the steps. But there are some settings that help you really refine it to how you like to use your devices. If you're not very familiar with these kind of apps, you might struggle a little, so you might want some help. Once it's set up, running your wash, seeing the timeline on how much time is left on your dryer, stuff like that, which, like, if I start this, right, I'm gonna get an alert. It's gonna tell me that the status of my dryer changed and I have an hour left, and like things like the washer, it'll tell me which cycle it's in. Oh, and it tells you the time that it ends, which is great. But other than this, if you're once it's all set up, it's great, but otherwise you might need a little assistance. So just taking note of that. And I did want to disclose that I did get this at I purchased this at a discount through the Insider Samsung Laundry 2023 campaign. I did purchase it, but it was discounted in exchange for my honest review. So that's what I'm doing here, providing my honest feedback. I hope that it was helpful and that this helped you if you were struggling on making a decision with this. If you do want a smart dryer and you're able to control yourself when it comes to how much you put in there, then I think this is the one for you. It is very useful. It's a good dryer, and it dries well when you don't overfill it. And that's my only caveat with that. But I'm happy with it overall, and I will definitely not go back to my old one. So I again hope this was helpful and hope you have a lovely day. Bye.